How's everyone doing? This is a what didn't make the shelf video. This is a video series where I show you what movies didn't make the shelf, aka the collection. And as always, let me know if you've seen any of these movies and what you think of them, and let me know which one of these is your favorite. I've got 13 titles right here. I've got some Blu-rays and DVDs. And just because I'm getting rid of them doesn't mean that I dislike them. Sometimes there's ones that I'm upgrading or ones that I think are good, but only a one-time watch for me. But let's go ahead and get into it. And this is a very cathartic process for me. Every day I go through the collection, or just about every day, and I pick out a movie, and then once it's a decent stack, I'll do a video like this. I'm trying to thin down the collection. It's an ebb and flow. I have over 6,000 movies. I really want to cut it in half, but I keep adding movies to my Amazon wish list because more movies keep coming out. Let it be catalog titles or new releases. So I'm trying not to do as many blind buys, and I really only get like when sales are going, I get movies, and very rarely will I pick up a new release. But let's go ahead and get into it. First up is Pet Shop. This is a full moon release. I like the spine right there, though, where it has the image of that character. This is a goofy, weird movie. Terry Kaiser in here from Weekend at Bernie's. It's basically like these aliens, and they're trying to trap and I think eat these kids. And it's been a while since I've seen it, and I just remember it being really hokey. I was like, I'm never gonna watch this again. And the only really draw is the weird little alien pet creatures, these little puppets. Those are cool, but everything else is a rough disaster of a movie. The acting isn't great. Terry Kaiser is always good, but he's like hiding from the mob, and so the move, I want to say it's Arizona they moved to, and yeah, it's just such a ridiculous, crazy one. It's available for the first time on any format since VHS in its debut in 1994. I should have kept that way, but it's goofy and quirky. Maybe if you were a kid and you saw this and it had some nostalgia factor, but it definitely doesn't hold up. The only good thing I can say about this one is the little puppets right here, the creatures. They're pretty cool. Sometimes Gizmo-esque looking, but yeah, everything else was rough, real rough. Next up is another one that was super rough, but ridiculous. And it had some entertaining moments, but sometimes it was just a monotonous Ninja Badass. And look at the back of that. That'll tell you what you're in for. I feel like this is, a hipster stoner comedy. But I also think when people use those terminologies, you have a few beers or smoke something and, hang out and watch a movie like this, that can make any movie fun and enjoyable, I feel like. So I could think it's kind of a cop-out, but it's just kind of like slacker character, and he wants to become a ninja, and he's trying to save this girl, and things go crazy. And the scenes are just so ridiculous. People growing limbs back, and people just getting, blown up, and just out of control. And then the guy who I want to say it's like produced, written, directed, and starring the lead guy right here, Ryan Harrison. So it seemed like it was a fun movie to make, and I feel like some people will enjoy it for how ridiculous it is. But sometimes there were some scenes that I thought were funny, and then just it dragged. And it's a short runtime too, so you don't want to see that. But yeah, it got monotonous to me, and I thought like this girl was really good too. I feel like she could play like Foxy Brown. She kind of looks like her a little bit, like Pam Grier old school. So if they ever do a new Foxy Brown movie, good casting right there. And the pet store girl was hot, but she was barely in the movie. But yeah, this is a really ridiculous movie, and I'm probably never gonna watch it again. There's a character in here, Big Tweety or something like that, Little Sissy, like all these weird characters, and I don't know. There was some entertaining moments, but I'm picky when it comes to comedy movies. I love stand-up comedy, but comedy movies, I think a lot of people could enjoy this, like Greasy Strangler and stuff like that. It's not quite as over the top as it is over the top, but Greasy Strangler is more crude. It's not as crude as that, but you might enjoy it if check the trailer out. But temper your expectations big time. It's low budget, it shows it, but it seems like they had a fun time with it, but not fun enough to make me watch it again, I don't think. But Angel Heart is a great movie directed by Alan Parker. I did Fame, Birdie with Nicolas Cage, which I'd love to see that get a Blu-ray. Mississippi Burning, Angel's Ashes, adaptation, a bunch of other movies. Pink Floyd, The Wall. But I love the heck out of this one. Only reason I'm getting rid of this one is I have the recent 4K Steelbook from Lionsgate that came out. I love that Steelbook. Beautiful artwork for it. very intricate and ornate on the gatefold like cover for it, and then the interior artwork is awesome too. But I always love the heck out of this one. Harry Angel and Louis Cypher, Epiphany Proudfoot. I always felt this was like a super underrated, and I'm really happy that the 4K has like a Voodoo special feature in there, because the old DVD special edition one had like a Voodoo featurette thing, and then the Blu-ray didn't. So very happy to upgrade that one. This is one I'm getting rid of only because I have the 4K. And I love this movie, and I would highly recommend it. Next up is Live, Die, it's not Live, Die, Repeat. I remember when they released this, like, this is so huge, and the actual movie, Edge of Tomorrow, is like down there with like the actors' names. So I don't know if they're gonna try to like rebrand it or whatever, but I got the recent 4K release for it, and so it's time to get rid of this one, the Blu-ray 3D edition. I always hated that, actually, the Live, Die, Repeat. But this is actually a really good sci-fi action movie, time loop movie, and Tom Cruise, it's a great actor. He gets a lot of criticism, and check out his filmography though. He's done so many amazing movies. Vanilla Sky is my second favorite movie of all time, but he's done a ton of, Last Samurai is incredible. Collateral, I think, is such a phenomenal film. One of my favorite roles from him too. If you haven't checked out Collateral from Michael Mann, definitely check that one out. But I feel like I love to see Minority Report get a 4K release. I think that's like one of the highest ones I want for me to get a 4K release. I'm surprised that it doesn't yet. So I'm not sure who handles that, maybe Paramount, but I'll have to double check on that. But that needs a 4K release for sure. That's a great sci-fi film. But this one's an awesome film. Definitely happy to see it get the 4K release. Only getting rid of this one because I got the 4K. So I've got a few upgrades in here. There's a few more coming, actually. Trading Places, only getting rid of this one because I have the Paramount Presents remastered one that recently came out. Love this film, one of my all-time favorite comedy movies, along with Coming to America. Again, John Landis directed. He's directed so many great films. American Werewolf in London, obviously, but you know, Animal House, Spies Like Us, Three Amigos, just a ton of great films that I love. So Trading Places, all-time classic for me, just one of my favorites. I watch it not just around Christmas time, New Year's Eve time, but all the time. This is one of my favorites. Only reason I'm getting rid of it is I upgraded for the Paramount Presents release. Next up is, let me know what your favorite Jonathan Landis movie is. Your favorite sci-fi movie of all time. Your favorite Alan Parker movie. Your favorite Robert De Niro movie. Your favorite Mickey Rourke movie. Your favorite Lisa Bonet movie. And Lisa Bonet is so stunning in here. Your favorite ridiculous comedy movie. I'm not gonna, there's nothing I can really say with the Pet Shop movie. That one was sheesh. But yeah, Malignant is next. Only getting rid of this one because I upgraded to the 4K. Let me know what your favorite James Wan movie is. I feel like Death Sentence really needs a Blu-ray release. I think that's underrated. My favorite one, I feel like Malignant now is my favorite one, but Dead Silence used to be. I feel like that one is still underrated to me, but Malignant is incredible. One of my favorite modern horror movies now. Reminds me a lot of Basket Case. And there are some giallo tones in there, the gloves and certain other things, but I love this one. Blew me away. It seems to be a very divisive movie, love it or hate it kind of movie, but incredible for me. And only reason I'm getting rid of it is for the 4K upgrade. I was actually tempted to keep it, but I was like, I got to stop doing that. I have so many different movies where I have, multiple editions of, and it's time to let a bunch go. So that's one that I'm getting rid of. It didn't make the shelf. Let me know if there's any movies you collected multiple editions of. There's still a few, like John Carpenter's Things, my all-time favorite movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, It's a Wonderful Life, House on Sorority Row. Blood Diner doesn't have that many editions, but I try to collect those if I see them out there. I'm trying to get the VHS for that in good condition. Let me know what your favorite modern horror movie is. I don't think it's I'd say Hereditary is my favorite modern one from the past, 5, 6, 7 years. But I know that's a super divisive one too. I take that way over Midsommar. I didn't like Midsommar. Didn't even feel like horror outside of 2 scenes. And then I remember obviously the Fangoria magazine they were promoting for Midsommar. They showed the one character's face, this figured character, and that character was in the movie for 40 seconds total runtime, screen time. Upset me so much because I was looking forward to that character. But yeah, Hereditary to me is just not only one of the creepiest movie of recent years, but of all time. Love that one so friggin' much. People hate it, and people were saying, they throw that crazy ending in there just for shock value. No, it has value. Read into it. But I digress. Next up is Black Panther. Only reason I'm getting rid of this one is because I just got the 4K for it. I did a trade on here with my friend Reject Films, and hooked me up with this one, and I enjoy the heck out of this one. I know there's some lists recently. It's like on the top of the list, but I think it's an entertaining movie, but it should be on the top of a list for any kind of accolades like that. Marvel movie. I would say it's in my top 10 Marvel movies, but I feel like Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite. I think I always felt like Blade was really underrated. That's like a personal favorite of mine. Love the heck out of that one. Kind of opened the door a little bit too for a lot of these comic book movies, and doesn't get enough credit that I think it deserves. But Into the Spider-Verse, Blade, Thor Ragnarok is up there too. I haven't seen the new Thor movie, but I've heard a lot of mixed things on that one. But Black Panther is an incredible movie. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in the future with this franchise. Really sad that Chadwick Boseman passed away at such a young age, but I think a lot of the other people are, if they bring them back, are very talented and can make the films work. And depending on who else you do for directing wise and who you put in the lead, but I'm curious to see. I heard it might be a female character that can work too. I mean, there's female Thor now, and I haven't seen the new Thor movie, like I said, but I remember in the comics there was Beta Ray Bill. It was like this horse-faced alien character, and he had the hammer. He was doing that. He was in the Thor books all the time, and he was in a bunch of the Marvel books. But is he in there? I feel like they should have teased that in the trailer, but maybe they shouldn't. I don't know, but I think he's an awesome character, and I hope that he's in the new Thor movie. But I didn't hear anybody talk about that, and people love to spoil things. So if he was, people would have mentioned it probably. But make him have a Marvel standalone movie. But yeah, I dig the heck out of this one. I just don't think it should be like the number one on. I can't remember if it was like I can't remember what list it was, but it was a list that was causing a lot of controversy. And as great as I think this movie is, it shouldn't be on like a number one, like Oscar nominated or number one Marvel or anything like that, in my opinion. But I do enjoy it. I'd probably put it like maybe number 5 for me, actually, top 5 Marvel at number 5. But it was shocking to see some of these lists, and I can't remember I wish I could remember better on what list it was, but again, only reason I'm getting rid of that one is because the 4K. Next up are the DVDs. We've got a Criterion for Equinox, and this is really known because it was a student film from Dennis Muren, who was a 9-time Oscar winner for visual effects, including Star Wars and Jurassic Park. And this was a student film from him, and from 1970, but they're showing the original 1967 film version too, which is a rare one. Equinox: A Journey into the Supernatural on this Criterion Collection release. So they have a bunch of special features on here. This one, though, it is rough. It's low budget. You can definitely tell. It was $6,500 budget. So yeah, it was later picked up for distribution and from Jack Harris. And yeah, it's gained a cult following, apparently. It's got a Criterion Collection release. It's just not for me. It is rough to sit through. It is hokey. Falls flat for me. I like the stop motion effects there for the creatures and stuff like that, and some of the perspective shots and cinematography, but outside of that, it is just rough. And it's like these group of friends that they're trying to see, like, I want to say this professor or doctor or something, and they find this book, and it's this book that opens up another dimension, and there's like these demon creatures, and thinking of that, it kind of makes me think like Evil Dead a little bit, Necronomicon-esque a bit, but Lovecraftian, but maybe not, because it's different, but somewhat. But this is a really nice release if you are a fan of the film. I'm just not a fan of the film, and I've had this for a while, and I used to collect like all Criterions that I'd come across, and I'm just not doing that anymore, because there's a lot of Criterions that I just don't like, or I don't see myself rewatching again. And this is definitely one that I wasn't a fan of. I was kind of keeping it, and it doesn't have a Blu-ray release, so this is the only way to get it. And it does have a ton of great special features here. And really the main draw is just seeing Dennis Muren for all the visual effects that he's done, and seeing his early student film here. But it's just not that good. Harlem Nights, one of my all-time favorites. I remember posting and talking about this for years, that it needs a Blu-ray release, and I remember saying like it would be perfect when Paramount Presents was coming out for that line. It'd be so well suited. Unfortunately, it wasn't part of the Paramount Presents line. Trading Places was, but I think it was a bit of a missed opportunity. Maybe they'll do a 4K release for it. A lot of Eddie Murphy releases are getting the 4K treatment. This is directed by Eddie Murphy. This is the only movie he ever directed. I love this movie so friggin' much. Very happy to see it get the Blu-ray release. That's the only reason I'm getting rid of this one. I was actually tempted to keep the DVD because I like this cover better, and I like the artwork choice on the back too, with the different scenes and stuff like that. That group shot right there. So yeah, this is just a fantastic film, and I love the cast in here. Of course, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, front and center. You also have Danny Aiello in here, he's so good in here. Music by Herbie Hancock, by the way, great jazz musician. Red Fox in here, and a bunch of great comedians in here, of course. But look at that shot right there. Again, I prefer this artwork on the front and on the back. In fact, I have the Blu-ray right over here. Let me just show you real quick. Now here we go. Here's the new Blu-ray right there. You can see the artwork is different, and then on the back too, I feel like the back is real flashy. All those scenes kind of jumbled together, as compared to this one right here, which I just think is sleek and cool, and it has the shot right down there. Jasmine Guy, so different world, great actress as well. But you could see right there, I just feel like, I don't know, this one just, I like that cover just so much better. It's just the way that it is, kind of like that, that painted artwork right there too, just stands out for me. Again, the back, I think the back to this is just a cooler shot right there, with all those different scenes and too, all of the actors, and this one just feels jumbled to me and flashier. And I love this movie so much, and I love that artwork, but I think I'm just gonna keep the Blu-ray for it. I have so many different movies where I have multiple editions. I gotta stop. I gotta cut down the collection. The space is at a premium. I've got, you see all the ones here. I have so many other. I have like double this amount. So again, 6,000 movies, and how many movies can you rewatch in your lifetime realistically? And I don't want to have things just to have them. And I definitely don't want to keep movies in my collection that I can't see myself rewatching again. I see a lot of people say, I hate this movie, I'm never going to watch it, but I'm keeping it. I don't understand that. That's wild to me. A lot of people say they have all these movies, thousands of movies that they've never opened. What's the point? Like, I've opened up movies and digital copies are missing, or there's a damaged thing. You have to have a disc replacement because something was wrong. There's so many different disc replacement programs going on right now with different companies. Arrow Video, Scream Factory has a lot. Even Kino, and I like Kino, but I think they're usually pretty good. Although I did have a DVD that had an issue years ago, and I looked up on Amazon not long ago because I was going to rebuy it, and apparently it was a defect, and there was no replacement program. I guess back in those DVD days, 10, 12 years ago. But I feel like it's crazy. I remember people posting that they opened up movies, even I think a Scream Factory movie, brand new, directly from them, and they were missing a disc in there. So to me, for you to buy something and not open it, just a movie, that seems mind-blowing to me. There could be, I've had wrong movies or wrong discs inside a release before too. That's happened a couple times recently. So I don't understand that mindset. So yeah, while I am trying to downsize, I do love that artwork. Let me know what you think. This is an all-time favorite for me, so let me know. Should I keep it for that reason? I'm trying to rationalize it. Let me know your opinion. That artwork right there on the front compared to that artwork. And then even just like the way the angle is, and I don't know, I might keep this one. I do love that artwork, and I love the movie. So maybe I'm gonna keep it. I'm talking myself into it. Let me know what you think. I'm so surprised this wasn't on Blu-ray sooner, and maybe this will get a 4K release. But all-time classic for me. Happy to see it finally get the Blu-ray release. Just an upgrade right there. Another upgrade, Eddie Murphy. Boomerang. I remember loving this one. Great cast chemistry in here. And Reginald Hudlin directed this one, and he directed House Party, the original House Party, Kid and Play. But the cast in here is just hilarious. David Alan Grier, Robin Givens, Halle Berry, Grace Jones, Martin Lawrence. Just a ton of people in Grace Jones is always so hilarious to me. Remember, there's the scene with the girl with her feet, and that cracked me up so much. You couldn't sleep with her because she had jacked up feet. That scene just gets me every time. But this was a fun movie I grew up watching, so happy to see it get a Blu-ray release. Next up is King Ralph. This is, I talked about this one before. This is a fun time for me. This is nostalgia. Look at that cover right there. He's got the burger and the tomatoes falling right there on him. It's kind of a fish out of water. He finds out that he's part of this British royal bloodline, kind of like an offshoot. And basically all the royal families passed away in this freak tragic accident, and he has to come there and be the King of England. And he's like this lounge singer in Vegas. And he's, you know, very stereotypical American, you know, drinking, football, all that kind of stuff, really rough around the edges. And it's just a fun time. There's a romance aspect too. I love this one. A lot of nostalgia factor for me. Really good family. Well, there are some non-family scenes in here, but mostly a family-friendly movie. And I dig it. I like John Goodman a lot. Let me know what your favorite Eddie Murphy movie is. There's some really great ones out there for sure. Let me know what your favorite John Goodman movies. I feel like 10 Cloverfield Lane was like a really good dark role for him. I like seeing him in darker roles like that. And let me know who your favorite comedian of all time is. I just popped into my head because there's some great comedians in here. But King Ralph, too. This is directed by David S. Ward, who directed Major League 1 and 2 in The Program, which is a really good football movie and a bit underrated. I know there's a lot of controversy with one scene in particular where they're like laying down the middle of the road. So I heard that affected some of the releases for that and stuff like that. But you can actually see that scene on YouTube, but I don't think it was in any physical media release, and that deserves a Blu-ray release in my opinion. Let me know what your favorite Marvel movie is and where you would rank Black Panther on the Marvel movies. And next up is, there's a lot of upgrades. I got this, I'm only getting rid of this one because it's an upgrade on Blu-ray from Mill Creek, the retro VHS slipcover line, which I love those. And I always say this, I feel like Mill Creek, they're known for budget buys and stuff like that, and they've really changed the game as far as the packaging. They've come a long way, especially their TV shows and stuff like that. But their retro VHS slipcovers, I feel like if it was like another company releasing it, it would be, you know, $25, $30 instead of like 10 and under. So definitely appreciate Mill Creek and some of these companies for making these releases affordable. Next up is Coneheads, which this is such a fun one for me. A lot of nostalgia factor. I love the cast here. Just so awesome in here. Chris Farley. Chris Farley's great. He's one of my favorite comedic actors. Him and John Candy. They're both gone too soon in my opinion. But yeah, love this one. It was offshoot from SNL skit. Let me know what your favorite, you know, SNL movie is. Essentially, this is one. You know, Ladies Man is another one. But and actually, I think Reginald Hudlin directed Ladies Man too, I believe. It just popped in my head. But yeah, these conehead aliens, and they're being chased, and it's just such a fun time. And I'm only getting rid of this one because there's a Blu-ray release coming out for it, and I'm definitely picking that up. I want to say it comes out in like a month, so super excited for that. It's great to see a lot of these like catalog titles being released on Blu-ray. Paramount's doing an amazing job in that regard. All these catalog titles finally coming out on Blu-ray. There's a lot of other companies that should be taking notice of what Paramount is doing in that regard and seeing that there is an audience, there's fans out here, physical media fans that want this. Last but not least is The Mexican, which is one I remember saying for a long time needed a Blu-ray release. This is directed by Gore Verbinski, who directed a bunch of Johnny Depp movies. Rango, which was a really fun animated one, but I think 3 different Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Lone Ranger, which I still haven't seen Lone Ranger. I heard not good things about it, but I do want to check it out eventually. But he also directed The Ring remake, which I love that movie so friggin' much. I remember seeing that in theaters, and to me, like one of the movies that actually like kind of freaked me out. There's a very short list for that one. But yeah, The Mexican, I remember really enjoying this one. And James Gandolfini in here playing a hitman, and there's a love interest, and there's this old, you know, tale with his gun in here too. With like, there you go, you see it right there in the front with like the heart. But yeah, I love this one so much, and great to see it get a Blu-ray release coming out. I want to say it already came out, so I got to pick that one up. Long overdue. And definitely let me know what movie you'd like to see get the Blu-ray treatment that doesn't have a Blu-ray yet. DVD only or VHS only for that matter. Because I think there's still a bunch out there that deserve a Blu-ray release. And happy to see, again, some of these catalog titles getting the Blu-ray treatment finally. So again, this is another upgrade, a bunch of upgrades in here. Upgrade, 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 and then Equinox, not a fan. Ninja Badass, not a fan, but I can see some people enjoying this one. Pet Shop, definitely not a fan, but the puppets are cute and cool and fun. And then you can see like one of the alien characters right there too in the back, like kind of like a cone head with an eye right there. Makes me think of, again, Coneheads meet Twilight Zone. Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up, which is my all-time favorite Twilight Zone episode. Let me know what your favorite Twilight Zone episode is. This is why I like still making videos on here. I've been making videos for 14 years. You know, I don't do it for the views or subscribers or anything like that because my views are in the toilet, but I have fun making these videos. I like talking movies and TV shows and stuff like that and collecting. That's why I make these videos. And there are some cool perks too. Occasionally I'll get like a review copy, or, you know, every so often I might get a check so that I'll spend more on movies and stuff. So I definitely appreciate all the support on here. Sometimes I'm able to do giveaways too and give back. So done a lot of physical media giveaways, but also some digital copy giveaways. And I feel like the digital copy giveaways are more popular. I get more entries than the physical media ones, but I'm physical media for life. But yeah, I still love making videos on here and talking movies and collecting and stuff like that. So expect a lot more of these videos, a lot more videos in general. I do, you know, these pickup videos and haul videos and stuff like that, but I still like to talk about the movies. That's, you know, number one for me. It's all about the movies. So there you go. This is what didn't make the shelf. 13 titles. If you've seen any of them, definitely let me know what you think of them and let me know which one of these is your favorite. Again, there's a lot of movies in here that I love. It's just I'm upgrading a lot of them. I'm not keeping the old previous Blu-ray copies or DVD copies. So there we go. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Let me know what you think. Leave me those comments down below. And I hope everybody's doing well. Take care.